Hey guys! Hello. We are live. It's 10 a.m. Melbourne time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am so happy to be here live. It's my first live that I'm ever doing. And yeah, so, well, where do we start? Okay, so welcome to my studio. This is my studio. It's a bit messy over on that side, so I've tilted the camera here. And today we are going to paint this beautiful nasturtium flower from this gorgeous book, the Book of Flowers, one of my favorite vintage floral artists, Pierre-Joseph Redouat. Obviously, when he was an artist, he wasn't vintage yet, but now we consider him vintage. And I did a poll on my community post for the last 2 days. There were 4 flowers, and this one came up as a winner at 35%. So we're gonna paint this one today. And if we have time, because I do paint quite quickly, I apologize. If we have time, we will paint the runner-up, which is this carnation over here. All right, so I just want to welcome you again. And there is a live chat over on the right hand side. It would be so wonderful if you pop your name and where you're from this morning so I can see who is here on live, and so I don't feel so alone by myself. So hi Maria, I don't know if you're here Maria, but hi Melly, thanks for joining me Melly. So there is going to be a little lag, obviously doing live, but I hope to see your name pop up and so I can say hi. And also on the chat, feel free to ask me any questions you have while we are painting, questions about the brushes or the paint or anything that I've left out. Please go ahead and just pop it in the chat. If you're watching the replay, if this makes it to a replay, thank you for watching the replay. Pop any comments you have down below and let me know what you think of this live, and let's go ahead and straight away let's get to the paint. Okay, so hi Elaine, hi Crystal, yay, I'm getting the highs, this is so cool. Hi Susan from Colorado, this is so cool. All right, so I am also using a very fancy software called OBS, which allows me to switch cameras and stuff. So bear with me if I stumble upon those things, but let's do that straight away. Hey Carla from Kentucky. Thank you. I do love this sweater. I do love it. Hey Kim. Hey MJ. Marsha. Hello. Thanks for joining, guys. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, I'm gonna hide this camera and ta-da! You get my top-down view. All right, so I am going to open my reference photo to here. Hey, Sue and Heather and Pat. Hello. Hey, people from Australia. Cool. And Kristen, yes, it's a great book. I do love it. So I have this reference here so you can have a look at it. I did actually put a little, anyway, yeah, so it's here and we can paint. And hi mom from Singapore. Plant with Sue is my mom. She's a great supporter of me here. And Linda and Sunshine too. Sarita, oh my gosh, I'm feeling so overwhelmed now and so excited to have so many of you here on my live. Also just want to say, if you're painting along, just have your supplies ready. I'm probably going to use my size 12 round Princeton Heritage, or use whatever size you have, just a round brush. I do like to paint a little bit bigger. This is an A4 pad of arches. Use whatever paper you have. Canson, Excel is great. I just have, this is the smallest paper I have lying around. And yeah. Hey DNF, awesome. And gosh, this is so cool. All right, I'm gonna try to paint and then monitor the chat as well. So let's get started straight away. I am going to paint, hey, hi Diamond, that's my sister. Yes, Crystal and Diamond. So I'm gonna paint this nasturtium almost as is, all right, because it's just such a beautiful just composition in itself. As you can see, it's got this, let me just put the painting here up front. Oh yeah, so we've got one flower that's facing front, one flower that's slightly facing over this way, a little bloom that's halfway open, and then a totally closed bloom and a tiny bud. And these beautiful leaves are also pointing in different directions, and all the lovely stems. So I just love this this composition in itself. So we'll just almost like follow it to a T, shall we? Oh, hi! Judy and Christina and my mother-in-law, Lim So Meng. Gosh, everyone's here. All right, so I'm wetting my brush and I'm going straight in with a Scarlet Lake or Scarlet Red. As you can see, I have actually cleaned my palette. It's not so gross as usual. Because I thought I wanted a nice clean palette, almost clean palette to begin. So with a Scarlet Lake, I'm going in there and getting a nice juicy, almost like coffee consistency. So if you're familiar with like the tea, coffee, milk, cream consistency, this one will be, I guess, coffee / almost milk, because I want it quite dark. I want to also maybe pop in a bit of orange to give it a bit of an orangey hue. I can see a bit of orange in my reference photo here. All right. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Jan. All right. Going in with my first petal here, pointing my brush this way, I'm just going to make just daringly make that first petal there. And my paper is bigger than the actual reference, so I'm going to be bold and just paint quite big. So I'm wiping some of that pigment off and grabbing coral this time to just vary the hue of this nasturtium. Yeah, and I'm just gonna, by the way, I did not rehearse this. I have painted this before, a while back, but not in a while, so a bit nervous painting live, really nervous. Alright, just gonna go in and get some petal shapes going, using the belly of my brush, using the pointy bit of my brush, and then wiping almost all of that pigment off to just, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals. The 5th petal will be maybe just quite watery, just pulling out some of that pigment. And there you go, that first vibrant nasturtium petals. Alright, gonna leave it as that. And I'm gonna work on this one here, which will be a more orangey one. So just grabbing my orange and even maybe lightening up with a bit of gamboge, which is a dark yellow. Hey Tara, thanks for joining. I see it's mostly the Aussies and the Americans here. It's terrible timing for the Europeans. I do have some of my friends from like Italy and Germany. They're like, I can't make it, it's midnight. I'm like, I'm sorry, we're just gonna have to work out, you know, the best timing for everyone. Okay, so with this mix here, as you can see, I'm not sure if you can see, but I've gotten a bit of sort of orange to kind of shine through that, and just working around this petal here, washing it off to maybe do this petal that's facing me, so that's a bit more of a transparent one, and then I'm even washing more off for this one down here. So, you know, with watercolor, the whole transparency thing is what makes watercolor so beautiful and so special, isn't it? And this painting here is not watercolor, it's my reference. I believe maybe it's watercolor, but it's definitely not like the loose style that I paint and that the kind of style we all love. So I'm just gonna really take advantage of the medium that we are using, watercolor, to paint and get a nice transparent hue to this one. Alright, I won't touch it any more than this because you know what happens when you mess around too much. It could backfire. At this point, I'm going to go and do this one here, which is also using that same reddish hue. Just gently do a little bud like this. Alright. Hey Renee! Hey Colleen! Yay! My North American friends. Washing it off, washing the pigment off, and now I am gonna bravely see if it's okay now to do the yellows. Alright, so there's yellow here, and then there's yellow here. So grab whatever yellow you have. I'm gonna use my cadmium yellow, and going to pull that little section from this flower, touching a little bit, and maybe this part not so touching, and creating that little holder. And it's bled quite a bit from the orange, but that's fine. And then here I'm gonna start just putting the yellow stamens down into the center of this flower. And you can just go slowly, and if you feel that it's gone too bleedy, as in like it's spreading too much, and I think I'm quite happy with this one, as you can tell, you can stop and come back later, okay? But I'm just feeling the urge to pull some of the yellow stems out this way, from here as well. And yeah, this is really how I use a photo reference to paint. I'm sorry about the focusing. Sometimes it's like yeah, okay, that's good. All right, if I go too close, sometimes the autofocus doesn't work. Hey Yvonne! Hey Annie, hi! Thanks for joining. All right, so I'm just using that yellow, and maybe it's a bit too yellow. I actually should mix some green into it. So I'm just preparing some green here. And I'm probably going to start working on some of the leaves. While everything is still a bit wet, it's nice to get some leaves in to have a bit of bleeds happening. So just grabbing my normal sap green here. And I always like to stand by a bit of my indigo or Prussian blue, a darker blue, just next to the green so that you can use that puddle to create nice different sort of greens. So we're going to start with this big darker nasturtium leaf here. And I don't know if you guys have tried nasturtium. They actually go really well in a salad. So you see, I'm just using my brush and I'm just wriggling it around to create that slightly wriggly sides, and just touching it like how it looks like in the reference. Alright, and then maybe you can dry the brush completely and get a bit of highlights by just taking some of that pigment off. Alright, and that creates a nice lovely sort of like highlight. Hey Driz, Susan and Annie, thank you so much. Thank you for supporting my channel. Okay, now I'm going to turn my brush around and I'm going to just see if I can make these lines, these vein lines coming from the center of this nasturtium, okay? Not sure if that's going to really show up, but yeah, I'm going to try that. Alright, then this leaf here is a bit of a green gold color, and I have green gold. I love my green gold. I have several green golds. I have the green gold from Mission Gold. I have the green gold from M. Graham. Okay, just use whichever one you like. I really like the M. Graham one called Azo Green. And I'm going to, just creating that shape And if you feel like your pigment, you've gone too dark, you can always just wipe it off, grab water, and you can fix the shape. You can always fix the shape of your petal and your leaf. Alright, so that's my green gold, and it's a bit too green gold. I'm gonna dip some of the other green in there just to create a bit of variation. There you go, look at that texture, so nice. And then same thing, turn my brush around to see if I can create some lines. It might be too wet right now for it to have any effect, but I'm just gonna try that. Cool, so where are we? Let's bring up some nice connecting stems now. Alright, so I've got 2 leaves down here. Gonna just get all that green going, and from here there's one big main stem here. Hey guys, yes, this is cold press, Tara. Yeah, just cold press, 100% cotton. And yeah, I like cold press. I like a bit of texture. Hot press is just a bit too flat, or rather too smooth. Alright, I'm just gonna pull down this stem here, touching that flower, which is fine. Pull it down, go over it again, and then from here continue it up this way. Creating the main stems can always be a bit nerve-wracking for me anyway. It used to be really nerve-wracking because I'm like, oh my god, what if I don't get it right? What if it's not straight? But really, nature is never that straight anyway. I'm really using my reference now to just look at all the other little stems that are coming out from the center, and just really enjoy creating and pulling everything out of this beautiful composition. And you see this one here needs to be connected. There we go, just connected that. And let's see what's missing. Shall we put some of these little leaves up here at the top? So just grabbing that gold, green gold. Wow, Luxembourg, you are still awake, Maria. Thanks for joining. We have some night owls from Europe. So I put one leaf there, and then this one here, this leaf's got a bit of a flat bottom, so just flatten that bottom out and just create the leaf shape. So, you know, sometimes they say in loose floral, you can't do the outline first and then color it in, but I find that's not true. Sometimes that's fine. Do the outline, color it in. That's exactly what I did, and no harm done there. Altering the shape slightly. Okay, let's do that little bud here. That little bud. Hello, Linda from Texas. Okay, so it's very interesting for me, like, you know, monitoring the chat, talking about how I'm painting at the same time painting. So I'm lifting, you know, drying my brush and lifting to create highlights because I kind of really like how that worked out. And then I'm dropping some darker green into this leaf at the bottom here. I have to remind myself not to bring my head forward because then it creates that like weird autofocus thing. So I'm leaning back and dropping some darker green into this one as well. And remember this one here, I want to drop some darker green into there as well. So I can mix a darker green with like the indigo and my sap. I sometimes I'm a bit lazy and I have this dark green here, which is shadow green. Whichever way you want to get some dark greens going. Oops. Alright, so this one is semi. It's still quite wet, so just gotta be careful to not drop in the color too late. because then it might, you know, puddle up. Like, see, there's a bleed going on here already, which is fine. I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, so what's next? Let's do this one yellow bit of bud here. So getting my yellow, and then since I have the yellow, I'm just gonna make this one a little bit more yellow, and going over this one as well, and maybe this center. So with that little yellow bud, this flower that's almost gonna bloom, just gonna pull down the stem, and it's got a little tail as well, and it even has a little bit of redness at the tip of this, the part. Yeah. Yes, it's kind of hard. It's new for me. Do you ever draw before painting or just go for it? I very, very, very seldom draw. In fact, like hardly ever. I just go for it. And that's mainly because I am impatient. I want to get to the fun part. I just want to get to the fun painting part, which is, some people say, you know, if you skip that part, your painting won't be as accurate, blah, blah, blah. And that's why my paintings are sometimes a bit wonky. If you saw my latest video with my muted florals, the vase is super wonky. But in the end of the day, that kind of like contributes to your own style. So for me, I'm like, do what you love doing. I really don't have patience to sketch. Although the times that I do sketch and I realize they actually come out a lot better, you know, better, inverted commas. So you do you, and so the answer is no, I hardly ever sketch before I paint. I just paint. I'm just creating all the other different sort of lines here now. Yeah. And, oops, just saw that bleed happen. Okay, I'm almost done here. I'm only missing this one more leaf, which is this one here. And it's got this empty spot just for that leaf. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm going to just grab, again, my green mixture. Maybe add a bit more sap green. It's gone a bit weak. And again, you know, you can sketch this if you want, but I like to just go for it. And like I said, I don't mind outlining it and then painting it in. You know, it's not the end of the world to do that. And I might even, so this part should be a bit lighter, and then the underneath should be a bit darker. And I can wait for it to dry, but I can also just do it now, see how it goes. All right, so just do that. And yes, don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Thanks, Marsha. Thank you. Maria says, I always draw. Sometimes I just sketch in a sketchbook freehand. Yes, you can definitely do that. You can sketch in a sketchbook. You can practice, and whatever brings you joy. Seriously, if you enjoy sketching and that's part of your practice, oh my gosh, keep doing it. But the thing is, I've never been a doodler, you know, growing up. I actually never really even did art. You can ask my mom here, Plant with Sue. I never did any art. In fact, my sister Diamond was more of the artist. She was deemed the artist of the family. So it's never too late to discover your artisticness. Okay, so what I did was I, again, went in to lift some of that color. And then now I'm just going to go in with the back of my brush and create some veins up here. Now that it's pretty dry, the veins should actually appear a bit more. This one's totally dry. It's too late for that one. And this one here can have some veins. The back of my brush. Whoops. And I don't know how I feel about the whole thing because I haven't been paying super close attention to it, but I think I'm quite happy with this just one layer here. I don't know, what do you guys think? Are you thinking this looks quite nice? There's a little bit of a bloom going on here with, I think, a bit of the green, but all of these are just happy accidents, you know, that occur. So I am going to, right now, leave it to dry, and I might come back later to do just a little bit more of some outlines, but I don't think we can do any more at this point. So this is a pad, I can just tear it off, and that is finished for now. And I don't think we can wait for it to dry before it goes on this live, so I would just consider this done. And yeah, it's been 26 minutes, and I don't think I have the time or the energy to do the other carnation, but I'm so glad that you guys are here with me to do this really beautiful short live with this nasturtium. Thank you for everyone who voted on the community tab. There were 255 votes on that. I couldn't believe it. Let's hang out for another 5 minutes to do any Q&A, and yeah, let's turn this back on to me. Hello. Thank you so much, Marsha. Thank you, Jen. Yes, maybe I have painted in my past life. I'm not so sure. Yeah, I'm just so glad that you guys could all join me today. If you enjoyed this live and you enjoyed sort of like being here with me, interacting live, I actually have a collaboration with Pennsylvania School of Art, Penn Studio School, and I'm doing a 5-week online live Zoom class, which is Introduction to Intuitive and Joyful Florals, in August this year. So for 5 weeks, and every week is 2.5 hours, I will be live, and it's around this time. In fact, I think it's a bit earlier, about 2 hours earlier on Wednesdays, for 5 weeks in August in total. And it's not very expensive, I must say. I will put the details on my website, and I'll start posting on my socials as well. But otherwise, if you're interested to do that with me on live, that would be wonderful. I'm so glad you're here today. Please like this. And I think this will make it to a replay because it wasn't so bad, right? So, yep, my nasturtium. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, everyone. And yeah, bye, Jen and Heather and Renee. Thanks for always supporting. I'm really so glad that you're here. I'll press the stop soon, I think. I didn't even press record, but okay, never mind. I'm sure YouTube has recorded this somehow. All right, see you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.